I want you to imagine you walk daily 30 kilometers through the mountains of northern Spain. Your feet are blistered, your shoulders are aching, and guess what? Of course, you have not slept properly for days. The only one thing on your mind is what? Find shower, meal, and bed. Do you agree with me? Then your phone vibrates. You can see the message, it appears. It's from your hotel, or at least you think it is. The booking number is correct. Dates are correct. The hotel name is correct. Everything looks legit, except there is one problem. The person messaging you is not the hotel, it's a cyber criminal who already knows where you are sleeping tonight. And that is the new battlefield of modern travel. Hello, all of you risk takers and truth seekers, and welcome to Podcast Live, The Battlefield. For those who don't know me, my name is Bekes. I'm the former military security and diplomatic intelligence operative, investigator, author, and the host of this podcast. As well, I'm the Guinness World Record holder for the longest audio broadcast. And for most of my life, I studied how people manipulate, deceive, and exploit others. And in this episode, I want to show you how organized cyber criminals are hijacking your hotel reservations, infiltrating trusted booking platforms, and using psychology to scam travelers around the world. This podcast is not about naming who did what. I want you to be equipped with the knowledge and true life experience how to prevent something like this happen to you. For those who don't know, recently I was walking Camino Primitivo, 321 kilometers across northern Spain. And I realized something very disturbing. The biggest threat to many travelers is no longer on the road. So whatever you think is going to happen to you on the road, it's now less risky. Your biggest threat is inside your phone or their phone. So now let's begin. When most people think about travel scams, they imagine pickpockets, stolen wallet, a fake taxi, or maybe dishonest tour guide. And that is okay to think that way. But that is yesterday criminal. Today criminals does not need to stand in front of you. They don't need to stand in front of you. They don't need to look you in the eye. They don't even need to be in the same country. They or him or her simply need access to information. And information has become the new currency of crime. While I was walking the Camino Primitivo, I met people from all around the world. Australians, Americans, Canadians, French, Germans, just to name the few. Pilgrims carrying everything they needed on their backpacks, including myself. So I was living daily from my backpack, but my lifeline was either my mobile phone and my wallet and my passport. What fascinated me was that nearly all of them had something in common. Every night, they relied on technology, booking applications, maps, digital payments, online accommodation platforms. I was one of them. However, that got me thinking. What happens when the very systems we trust become compromised? When I was in a room, sharing the room with between 12 people, 20 people, sometimes 50 people, you don't know all these people in the same room. You don't know people in a hotel. But somebody will somehow scam your data. They will skim your data and information about you, about your travels. While you are asleep, I remember every single night I'll put my laptop, my passport, and my mobile phone under my head, under my pillow, and I try to cover it with my hands because I wasn't sure that somebody is gonna steal something. And guess what? Well, somebody took my t-shirt. Now imagine what happens when the very system you trust, me trust, using on daily basis become compromised. One thing I learned in military and diplomatic intelligence and later in investigations and interrogations is that criminals evolve. And sometimes faster than governments, faster than corporations. Years ago, scammers sent badly written emails, and most very easy to identify. Poor spelling, ridiculous stories, obvious deception. But today, just think about it. The criminals has evolved. They don't need to be educated anymore. They don't need to be eloquent anymore. They don't need to go into school anymore because they have a ChatGPT, and ChatGPT is going to write them very amazing emails. With that being said, criminals have evolved. Today's scammers looks more like an intelligence collector. They gather information, they build profiles, they study behavior, they identify vulnerabilities, and then waits patiently. Literally. And what fascinates me is that the methodology is almost identical to classic intelligence operations. Collect information, gain trust, exploit weaknesses, achieve objectives. But the difference is that one is working for a nation and the other is working for profit. Let me demonstrate you how one of the newest scams actually works. Because understanding how is what protects us. The criminals love to understand how they can take it away from you and then how you're going to protect yourself. A protection is much more easier. Prevention and protection is much more easier than recoveries, going to court, try to, sue somebody. How things works in travel world. Let me share another story with you while I'm on this topic. As I was working in Spain, I was in Rome as well. And while I was in Rome, I was being approached by the two men, perfect English, in middle of the room. They just approached me, the pen or paper, and they said to me, can you sign here to save the planet, animals, whatever it is. I said, that doesn't make a sense. They don't even have the accent, English accent, because they should be, Italians. They're not. I don't trust them. It's some dodgy table there next to the church, there's some type of identifications without images, with nothing, without pictures, nothing, just sign here. And I asked myself, imagine you signed something, you have no idea, they're of course asking you for the credit card. That's what's going to happen to you when you are coming to a foreign country, because where the tourists flocking, that's where the scammers are. However, cyber criminals targeting hotel staff, not the travelers, hotel staff. Absorb it. Take this close to your heart. Think about that. The weakest point in most security systems has never been technology. It has always been people. You hack the human brain, you have access. You can put as many you want, firewalls, passwords, whatever you want. But person, the human being, has access to everything. And through conversation, social engineering, all information is flowing to scammers or criminals. As I mentioned, the weakest point in security system are the people. The same principles applies in world of espionage. The same principle applies in world of fraud. The same principle applies in social engineering. Eventually, some hotel systems become compromised. Suddenly, criminals gain access to valuable information. Real names, real bookings, real travel dates, real hotel details. Period. Now imagine you receive a message inside the booking application, inside the actual hotel conversation thread. Everything looks legitimate. Your payment verification has failed. Then comes next message. Please confirm your details. Your reservation may be cancelled. Would you click? Many people would, because it appears genuine, because it appears trusted, because it appears familiar. And that is exactly why it works. Now, while I was staying in Galicia in Spain, I met a retired architect from Paris. Smart, experienced, well-traveled. The type of person most people assume would never become a victim. And guess what? In conversation, she told me that a week before arriving at her accommodation, she received one of these messages. Everything matched. Dates, the hotel, the reservation, the tone of message. And what did she did? She clicked it. She told me, I entered my details and one pure luck saved her. Her bank blocked transaction. So bank recognized some IP addresses or maybe some links. I don't know exactly how the bank go and protect our accounts. That's their business. While I was walking Camino, I asked people questions, how they are, what they do for living. You know, I have those genuine conversations, and people have a tendency to talk a little bit too much, particularly when something non-eventful, negative happened to them, as this lady. But she was lucky that her account and her transaction was blocked by her bank. Now, what stayed with me was not a scam itself. It was what she said afterwards. I never thought, Mario, it could happen to me. And there it is. The sentence investigator like me here over and over again. I never thought it could happen to me. And it will happen to you. Happens to everybody. But why is that? Well, people don't become the victims because they are stupid. They become victims because they are human. Human beings trust. Human beings become tired. Human beings become distracted. Human beings want problems solved quickly. Do you agree with me? We all have to problems be solved quickly. Imagine, as I said at the beginning, you're walking 30 kilometers per day as I did. You wanted your accommodation to be ready. You don't want somebody send you a message and say, your accommodation, well, you need to pay again because we have a problem with your payment. Of course, you want to solve quickly. You're going to click that link. Behind that psychology are the criminals. And criminals understand that sometimes better than we do ourselves. In investigations, we often talk about vulnerabilities. Most people assume the vulnerability is technology. The phone, the laptop, the password, the firewall. I want you to hear me. I disagree. The biggest vulnerability is often human behavior. Fear, urgency, trust, fatigue, convenience. Those are the real attack surfaces. The criminal is not attacking your booking. The criminal is attacking your decision-making process. Guys, so far I'm hoping that you understand that whatever's happened to us, it's coming to the one thing, and that is our decision-making process. And criminals preying on that, as I said before, fatigue, we want to be quickly to problem be solved, we are tired, we don't pay attention. That is what they're preying on your decision-making process. That is why modern cybercrime is as much psychology as it is technology. But there is another development we need to discuss. I mentioned during conversation, and that is AI, artificial intelligence. AI is helping businesses become more productive, helping researchers, helping educators, helping ordinary people. And as I said, it helps criminals. And that is the uncomfortable truth. Today, fake accommodation listings can be created in minutes. Photos stolen, description generated, reviews can be manipulated. Entire properties can appear legit. Now just imagine arriving in a foreign city late at night. You drag your luggage, through unfamiliar streets. You are tired, you are angry, you are hungry, and you are searching for a place that does not exist. Imagine you land in Rome 10 o'clock at night and you're looking for your Airbnb and you are asking yourself, what is going on? You discover that your place where you're staying does not exist, and you discover your money is gone. The listing is fake, and the customer support, it's an AI chatbot. Unfortunately, that scenario is becoming increasingly common on a daily basis. But don't worry, we can learn something from this, and you can prevent this from happening to you and anybody around you. As I said to you guys, I spent years, decades in investigations, interrogations, human intelligence. And if you believe that I wasn't the victim, I was victim of my own success. A few times, yes, I fall for the less important and less valued things, yes, but I lost. But we always can learn the lesson. And as I say to you, it's a decision-making process you need to rely on. What we can do, what we can learn from all of this. Simple. Think like an investigator. Number one, trust policies, not messages. If your booking says pay at a property, question and sudden request for payment. Number two, verify independently. Never trust a link simply because it appears inside a trusted platform. Make the phone call. That's number three. Call directly. Human voice communication remains one of the most strongest verification tools available. Number four, slow down. I know urgency is one of the most powerful weapons scammers possess. The moment somebody pressures you to act immediately, stop, think, verify, and then act. Camino Primitivo taught me many things. Discipline, resilience, humility, faith. But perhaps the greatest lesson was awareness. Watching every step, every loose stone, every obstacle, every risk. The digital world requires exactly the same mindset. Because today, we are not only traveling physical roads. You, me, all of us, we're traveling digital roads as well. And both contain danger. The old hivemen once waited beside dangerous roads. Today, they wait behind screens, inside applications, inside system we trust, inside machine itself. My advice, stay curious, stay away, verify everything, trust nobody, and never underestimate somebody who understands human behavior better than you, because life is still a battlefield. Feel free to subscribe, share, like, and comment. Let me know in comment section below, have you been a victim while you are visited foreign country, while you're traveling? Did somebody try to scam you? Or somebody try to steal from you? Let's go share our experiences and learn from each other. Thank you for watching.